Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Chris Stollings. You know me here on YouTube as MarauderEX, and as always I'm your host for Operation Recap. I take some of the stories from Rainfall.com, and I show them off here on YouTube because I'm a glutton for punishment. That's really the extent of it. So let's talk about some stories this week that we talked about on Rainfall that kind of interest me. The first up this week, NIS America captures card captor Sakura. For those of you who didn't grow up in the 90s watching a lot of ridiculous anime like I did, Cardcaptor Sakura was an interesting little show about a little girl and a little tiny stuffed lion with wings that turned into a giant lion, very scary, that captured monsters in cards. It was like Pokemon but with cards. It was actually a really good show, and it kind of just vanished when its run ended. It didn't really get any sort of syndication or anything like that. It just kind of vanished. Well, NIS, fans of the Disgaea series and the Prinnies will recognize the name. They now have the rights to release the DVDs in the US, so they are going to do that for a ridiculous price. So they've got a DVD set and a Blu-ray set that they've announced. 70 episodes, 9 Blu-ray discs, a illustrated 76-page hardcover book with brand new art content, and a slipcase for $249.99. $250 for 70 episodes. That's a little crazy to me. There's also a listing of a premium edition for $178 and standard edition for $60. I don't. That is the one thing I dislike about anime, is its ridiculous price tag, because it seems like, and it's always been that way. I grew up in this time frame. For those of you who remember Suncoast, picking up anime VHS at Suncoast cost you an arm and a leg for a 30-minute tape. It was ridiculous. And I'm sitting here, I'm dating myself. Oh my god, I feel so old. But yeah, so if you're a fan of NIS, or a fan of Cardcaptor, or a fan of obscure 90s era, early 2000 era anime, then check that out. So we've got all the information on it about where it can be picked up online. It seems to be that it is online only, so. The next story for this week that I'm going to talk about is DuckTales Remastered. You know that game that came out to a ridiculous amount of fanfare because it had all of the original voice actors that are still around, reprising their roles of famous Disney characters for arguably one of the best NES-era side-scrolling platform games that they completely redid in HD for every console available. Originally digital only, now available in hard copy on various consoles. The soundtrack is available online. You can now purchase the soundtrack. You can download any individual track for 99 cents, or get the whole album for $9.49 from Amazon. And for those of you who are a big fan of video game soundtracks, I am. I have a ton over there that I could just sit there and listen to for hours. I love the music for DuckTales Remastered. I never really played the original NES, so I didn't have the attachment to some of the things that a lot of other gamers had, like the Moon theme. The Moon theme is here, and it does sound gorgeous and remastered, and I'm kind of a fan of it, even though I don't have that nostalgia attachment. So, yeah, 47 tracks on this, considerably more than what you would expect, given the fact that it is a NES game remade. I can only remember like maybe 4 or 5 tracks. So that's actually a really good deal. Again, if you're a fan of video game or anime soundtracks, go check that out, because not really anime, but it's classic. It's DuckTales. Woohoo! And the last story that I'm going to talk about this week is one that I'm probably going to rant a little bit about, because it's just one of those, what? So Nintendo has kind of announced a pre-E3 strategy. They've gone out and they've started talking a little bit about what they're going to do for this E3, and they've partnered with internet sensations Mega 64. If you have not heard of Mega 64, just stop my video, go check them out, and then come back to this. They do ridiculously entertaining video game related live action content, and the things Nintendo has allowed Mega 64 to announce that they are working on is Nintendo's hosting a Smash Brothers Invitational Tournament, Smash Brothers playable demos at Best Buy stores across the US, and something they call Nintendo Treehouse Live at E3. It looks to be a huge digital event. It looks, from the sound of things, like they're doing the same thing they did last year, where they're not having an actual presentation for E3, they're having probably some sort of streaming or pre-recorded video go in place of a large stage spectacle event. A little disappointed if that is going to be the case, but I'm very entertained that they are hosting their own Smash Bros. Invitational tournament, considering the massive problem that happened last EVO. For those of you who don't know, EVO is one of the largest video game tournaments focusing on the fighting genre, and they had Smash Brothers added to their roster by fan choice, and Nintendo tried to block the live stream of it. Eventually Nintendo caved, realized that, hey, this is actually good press, and allowed it to happen. But the fact that they are now hosting their own just makes me wonder if they are actually getting with the times and saying, hey, live streaming tournaments, this whole YouTube thing, the internet's a good deal, or if they're just still trying to maintain a stranglehold on their IPs and how their IPs are used. I'd lean a little toward the latter, but who am I to... I don't know. So, that has been everything story-related. Check out all those stories and then everything else we've done. Op Rainfall this week, we've got a ton of stuff going on. So, I'm going to go and see if I can find any more information about this soundtrack, this anime, and Nintendo. So, I'll catch you guys next week.